keyboard, first of all?
It comes with
all right.
because our target market is actually people who would buy a DOS or Windows
So, plug this in here. And I'm going to see what
So if you're going to use it as a notebook computer, you'd use that keyboard. If you were going to, for
pin
instance,
20 has.
where the pen is a lot more appropriate. And
All right, so there's a frequency showing up there.
Take away the keyboard and just use the pen.
All right, show me how you would use the Momenta now in the pen mode.
14.29 megahertz or so.
Objects. I'm in our presentation program.
So that looks good. I don't know if you can actually see that, but that's what I was getting on the other one. Now the dot clock is where the other machine was just going crazy. Oh, this looks locked in a hell of a lot better. That's actually a pretty static line, all things considered. So I actually like what I'm seeing on this computer compared to the other one.
And then I'm customizing my presentation. I also want to add a new chart here.
I need to figure out how to take a screenshot on this thing.
And we have a paper tray here that allows me to take icons and scrapbook art out of here. So I'm just going to take our icon, our logo, and
storage.
copy it in. Then I'll go ahead and add in a chart. And one of the other things that's unique about the Momentous pen system, which lives right on top of DOS, is that it has basically embedded applications. So something like this chart that I'm adding is really
oh Jesus, what did I do?
That I can just stick on anywhere I want to. So I can go in here and make that as large as I want, move it around, edit it if I want. Yeah. And once again, we're using
what have I done?
tapping gestures to do that. So if I want a pie chart, I simply tap on that. If I want to put on legends and labels,
I don't think that's what I wanted to do anyhow.
and then explode.
Questions. Battery powered, of course.
Of course.
What kind of storage device in there?
We've got a 40 megabyte hard
I don't know how to take a screenshot off this thing.
and the batteries can be
I'll have to figure that out later.
Tracy, we can't let you go without one more question. I take it you can do cursive writing. There's character recognition in the Momenta?
No, you don't
But,
recognize those letters, but you can
point being,
just as you would in your own notebook. So instead of, for instance,
that looks a hell of a lot different
jot down a few notes and back
Scribble
something.
little notes in the
with a working C64 than it did with the dead C64.
Copy that
It
at
certainly
support.
did.
Okay, there really is a wireless network
That's
there.
right.
Thank you.
You mean reseeding it? It very well could. I didn't have a good chip extractor until this afternoon, so we'll see it. I want you to take a look. I'm going to bring up the old one here, but definitely, I don't know how well you can make it out. But this is the dot clock, and this is running at
ever since its introduction, but now you can do even more with it.
8.17, 8.3, 8.17, 8.3. It's a little jittery, but in general, it's pretty solid, all things considered. And then here's the 14 megahertz, 14.2-ish or so. That actually looks pretty good. I don't know if you saw those waves on there at all, because like I said, I can't really get...
built in, and it comes with a full version of Lotus 123 in ROM. The 95LX.
But I'm going to bring up the old one and we'll see what happens here. So we're going to shut this guy down. There's no reason to plug the old one into the video because we know that that's toast. So good 64 goes back here. Bad 64 comes back out.
This one was the first one.
There is this CT1 trimmer pot, and I don't know what I should, if that means anything or not. I forgot that that was there. All right. Getting a little cramped on the desk here. That's okay. All right, so let's see. We're going to put power into this guy again. Get my scope out of the way. Okay. So I'm going to show those clocks again.
Wireless connection between laptop and desktop. Here to show off two new cellular portable computers are Mark Marangella from NEC and Gary Doolittle from...
And so that's 14 point megahertz again on the bad C64. I was getting that fine, but the dot clock on this one
portable cellular phone,
is really rough.
an interface device, and of course our notebook computer. This package allows you to transmit
8.1, 7.6, 8.1, 7.6. There's a lot of
You call this
there's a lot of noise
That is correct. Because
back and forth here.
you are totally untethered, as you
And that's what makes me wonder if there's not something going on with this, because this guy is feeding it that signal.
and receive
I know the CPU's got, at least I think the CPU's getting power. I didn't check that lately, but it's also getting the 1 megahertz, so I know we're good there.
and
So
what
it's
we've done is
definitely,
turn on
I feel like right now, if there's only one problem, it's around this area. So I'm going to disconnect,
all hot loaded, our goal is to
and let's get my extractor.
operate from their car, from the road, without having to have any other people.
That's what I want to do.
I've never used this thing before, so we'll see what this does.
That's correct. How would you do it? Well, basically, as you can see in the menu feature,
We've got a fax machine back here. This is a real
that is
test.
correct.
Okay.
There's a fax machine behind
Yeah.
us. We'll go into the slide modem. And this modem contained in here has both data and fax capability. So what I'm doing, as you can see from the screen, under communication function,
That worked really nicely, actually.
I'm going to go ahead and hit the send.
So, while my eyes are crap, I don't see any corrosion on the pins,
Pull up the file that I'm going to be sending to you.
but I'm going to
By the Alt key.
I'm going to give a little IPA swabbing.
And that's what I have done. I'll get out of this. There's a sample message I'm sending to you. I'll very quickly type your
While we're
number in,
here,
the one, the four,
and then
one,
just see.
Okay, I want to turn over to you now, Gary, and take a look at what you've got there, which is called PC radio. It's not even called a computer. What is
If
it?
reseating that does anything.
Global workforce, such as sales representatives and service technicians who are out in their territories during the day, and it could be a great
First, I should probably get some IPA on the damn thing.
employer's host data.
What's in that box?
In this box right here is a fully
There we go.
cellular telephone with modem
I see the handset.
And integrated-
I've got one here too.
and an integrated printer, 40-column printer, along with a full-screen display.
All right, now I've got one here too, and can we sort of see if this thing really works as a telephone? Again, no
surely.
wires, and I'm going to try to call you. I've got your number on your computer over there, and I'm getting my dial tone right here, and let's see if this actually works. I'm going to try to call you here, Gary, and of course this is actually a toll call, so I've got a lot of numbers.
Still don't feel like I've got much IPA on this at all.
And let's see actually if we can call from laptop to laptop. And my phone is ringing. Is your phone ringing?
This phone's ringing.
All right, let's see if this really works.
Hello.
Hello, Gary. This really does work.
There we go.
Like when we were kids, we had these walkie-talkies, but you could hear each other. Yeah, no, this really does work. Okay, I'm going to hang up.
All right.
Now, this is great. So let's say we were colleagues. I'm in the field somewhere.
So
My PC radio, and I told you.
what I forgot to test when I had the new one up is I didn't look at both pins on the
That's one of the great benefits.
the crystal, so I need to go back and do that too.
8.5 by 11. As you can
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that chip aside.
we would go to our phone book.
We're going to look at the crystal on the good 64 because I want to see what the output of that was. And then we'll reseat the 7701 timer chip and in the bad 64 and maybe see what happens. All right, so we're going to come back, power in,
Okay, so I called
plug in,
computer to computer. You just called your base in Florida computer.
and I'll probably have to adjust this a little bit because I think you see 14 megahertz, but it's a different voltage
For instance, when
in there. So,
you look up on the screen, very often you want
all right, let's try the first pin.
a printer,
Yeah, I
a
know. I
40-column
noticed mine has
printer.
a little printer in there. Okay, show
And
me.
of course, you would not want to. Let me get down here on the screen.
All right, so I do see it go up.
Try and remember everything. So you would print it off, and then you would have something for a permanent record.
I need to set the trigger. Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's my invitation to
And
represent
shows you where to show up here.
PC Chronicles.
That's fantastic. Now let's turn back to you. How did we do with the?
All right, I see 14.29 megahertz coming from one pin of the crystal,
Indeed, there's a fax sent just.
and I see like nothing coming out of the other pin. So I'm guessing then that's
How far along our end?
that actually kind of matches what I was seeing
Well, in our case, we've been 2 months ago
on the bad 64.
this product, and it has been on the market. Yes,
Okay.
we're selling through
So,
both with the data and fax
Yeah.
functions. That
I'm okay with that, actually.
On this particular unit also, on my menu, I can also receive a fax. So I can actually close my briefcase out.
That might be okay. Actually, what was the voltage on this? So,
You can walk down the street and you could be receiving faxes into your system
There's your
while you're
antenna
walking.
sticking out of your briefcase.
Well, even the antenna can be closed
Yeah,
as long as you have
yeah.
signal strength.
Okay, real quickly, what's the status of PC radio shipping?
PC radio will be available later this year.
Uh-huh.
And
800 millivolts.
for special bid situations with clients who have decided that they wish to have this for their field force.
Okay.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Well, in just a minute,
All right,
we'll look at the
so-
Macintosh PowerBook Portable, and the first affordable color laptop. Don't go away.
Shut you down. Bring back the bad 64.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. That is the anthem of the computer industry. Here to show us the newest and much talked about Macintosh Portable, Wayne Wesley from Apple, and also with us to show us a color notebook computer is Brett Berg of AST. Let's turn to the PowerBooks first, Wayne. And we all saw the Mac Portable when it first came out a couple of years ago, and there were a couple of problems.
Okay.
Quite what everybody wanted it to be, I guess. What were the problems you were
Bad 64.
First of all, we wanted to make all these products notebook products down weight and still contain.
And we're gonna reseat that chip.
Have the Macintosh advantage, still run the system software, as well as having some of the networking and communication capabilities.
You got 3 versions of the PowerBook. huh?
Right, right. We have.
Sure, I don't have any
the
weird
affordable
cotton
Macintosh
Q-tip
PowerBook
strands
100,
anywhere,
the
but
most affordable Macintosh PowerBook. It's also the lightest, 5.1 pounds.
Okay, and affordable at what price? What's the bottom end?
The bottom end is $22.99
Okay.
for the base configuration. Then here the PowerBook 140.
all right. Chip has been reseated.
Has an internal flash drive, weighs 620 pounds. Base configuration is $28.99.
And this is the top of the
And
line?
then the top of the line, the high performance Macintosh PowerBook 170. It also weighs 620 pounds.
All right, let's see what the signals say.
A active matrix display, which is a premier display.
Oh my God.
All right, it's got a kind of interesting layout here. Talk through the logic behind it.
I'm now getting into a knot.
With existing Macintosh portable customers as well as notebook buyers wanting to get a good ergonomic design. And so what we've done is we put the keyboard.
All right, so let's connect
placed
this.
the trackball here in the center, which left this area which we call a palm.
And let's see, so
Their hands here or their palms here on this space.
scale it up a little bit here.
I'm typing here. This is a good ergonomic position. My wrist is straight.
When you go to use the trackball?
Then I use the trackball. I can control it here with my thumb. Use
So
the,
we've
my
still
other thumb
got
to control the mouse
this
button.
crazy
Or I
1,
can
2,
walk down
3, 1, 2,
my
3
finger or my index finger, and then use this mount button.
frequency shift going on. So
All right, what do you have?
still not fixed from that standpoint.
All these PowerBooks run Macintosh System Software 7.0, our latest version. So all the desktops. All
So at this point, I still question the 7701.
Up here on the screen, a persuasion document, and again, I can just easily control and select text.
So the interesting thing here too is that
Let me also highlight another key advantage that we have, and that's in the area of networking. All three
a little higher on the millivolts. I was 800 millivolts before.
allows me to access my desktop.
Now I'm 900 on the new on the bad 64.
Let me do that here. What I have is
But
I have a
it's-
standard phone cable connected from my PowerBook 100 to my PowerBook 170. And so with this icon that I have, I just double click, type in the password, and I'm using Macintosh file sharing, which is a standard part of System 7.0. Here
Oh, hold on here. I gotta get my.
all the contents of my PowerBook 100, the hard disk, available to me on the
Gotta get my time right.
I could also use that with a Macintosh desktop computer.
Yeah, 14.29 megahertz out of the crystal. That's what we want to see.
Price of the high end on the 170, Wayne.
The price of the high end is $45.99.
So
So we also run one Apple Talk.
I still suspect that it's something around here. I think the crystal's okay compared to what I saw on the other crystal.
Haven't seen yet, and every
But this, the dot clock on this chip, the output of him, that's not so good.
show us, give us a little run through of the machine.
It's a little screwy.
At AST, Stuart, our goal was to bring a portable color notebook in.
Anyhow, that's where we sit with that at the moment. So I've got a replacement for the 7701. I've also got a replacement that replaces both the 7701 and the Crystal. But they won't be here yet for a few weeks.
PGA color, which is 640 by 480 graphics resolution with 16 simultaneous colors, as well as 320 by 200 resolution.
So that is where we currently stand.
It has the full range of colors on Windows and color on this machine. Absolutely.
I know I don't need a SID chip for a 64 to boot.
Like Microsoft Windows, like IBM's
So technically I could remove the SID chip from here, put it into there, and see if that sounds any better. We could try that.